It's time for a podcast. They'll talk for an hour or so. If you listen to the podcast, your heart will be filled with hope. Hey, it's time for a podcast, and you better listen up, because the two dudes got lots to say. They're pouring wisdom in a cup. They'll serve it on a platter, better pour it down your gullet. Hey guys, watch out, that dude is trying to shoot you with a bullet.
What was the other song?
I have no idea. I couldn't even remember what it sounds like now because I just have the. I don't want to get demonetized, even though we're not making money.
I don't know if you understand how monetization on YouTube.
I actually don't. I don't really care either.
That's true.
I mean, the goal wasn't really to make money. It was just to sink $600.
It was just to lose money.
No. I worked at U-Haul for a few months, so we're rolling in cash.
Count. That was what's known as indentured servitude.
with my manager, it sometimes felt like it. She'd call me, before I launch into a story about unnamed U-Haul manager, I think that we should
intro the podcast.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 2 of the STABcast, our official 2.5. We lost a lot of the actual episode 2.
Rest in peace. Me not having the audio visual, and I pressed the button. It was red for actually like 3 minutes, 3 seconds.
We went back to try to listen because we got to like a stopping point.
Well, I leaned over and I was like, "Damn, there's a suspicious lack of recording light," and that was because it wasn't recording.
And then we went back to listen to how much of it recorded. Do you want to tell them about how long it recorded?
Yeah. So Tim said, we should probably do an audio test. And then it was over.
So it recorded actually.
And then I said, nah, we're good.
4 seconds of broadcast.
Yeah. Well, okay. but then we did 27 minutes of it. So
yeah.
And then had to wait 2 hours for the battery of the camera to charge. But hey, we're back.
We are.
For you, for the first time.
Yes, welcome to our premiere, episode 2.
Formal premiere, red carpet event.
Yeah, I mean, would have been nice if y'all had dressed up, but, it's fine. It's a little rude.
We probably could have. I mean, it's their fault. But
no, really it is.
They could have put a little effort into it. But
at least a little bit.
We did buy shit and plug it in, so.
We are just kind of the best.
I don't know.
Although, I will say, to shatter the meta of us judging our audience, I am wearing basketball shorts on the bottom of this suit.
Is meta the right word for that? You're breaking
honestly
the fourth wall with your basketball shorts.
Enough connotations of the word meta fit with what I was talking
about.
The
sausage is made with basketball shorts. That's an unfortunate recipe.
This is me biting into a sausage made of basketball shorts. Oh, you know how hard that'd be to rip through with your teeth?
Probably pretty easy with my teeth. I'm built different.
You just have cinder blocks in there.
I don't know if cinder blocks is the best material to get for a basketball short.
I'm thinking more of a tearing. Like you clench it with the cinder blocks, and then you just pull, and it rips.
But is that the cinder block strength or my arm strength that's tearing that apart?
Well, both. Because the cinder blocks would hold it. Because honestly, I feel like if you put basketball shorts in your mouth, clamped down, and tried to rip it out, it would tear out of your teeth. Like pull through it. Like, I don't know if they can clench hard enough. But if you had just had 2 cinder blocks in your mouth.
I don't know. But
we are. I do know science, so I think I'm unquestionable.
You are a political science major. So.
That's right. I am a science major. So,
political science major.
Oh no!
They got us. Darn! I think they might have heard that one.
So now they all know my future career of living in my mother's basement.
I'm getting an applied associate in science.
Hey. What kind of science?
With film focus. Why are they adding science to this shit?
Well, I mean, they just divide it between like of science and of arts. Technically, mine it's really stupid because it's called political science.
Yeah,
but
you are stupid.
But it's a Bachelor of Arts degree. So
in political
it's a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science.
And
Which
I have an applied associates in science.
I get
of film.
why it's a Bachelor of Arts degree, because it's like a humanities. So, but then they just call it political science, which I feel like is just political science, professionals attempt to justify the profession a little more.
Yeah, we're white college students that started a podcast. Anyway.
Yeah, that's right. We're
no big deal.
Experts.
Honestly, that
Gotta
that
get
was
back to my busy schedule.
The biggest hurdle for me, not hurdle, but like mental anguish that this podcast has already caused, was realizing that we just the two dudes buying all the podcast shit from Best Buy, and we every time I was like, damn, we look like we're starting a podcast. And that's,
I mean, they were technically right.
Yes.
Although I will say, like, every single employee, we're standing there, especially since a lot of the stuff, since we got this from Best Buy, is like marketed for podcasting.
Yeah.
So you've got all the sad people like us who
I
needed to go to
made
therapy.
the joke. We bought all the stuff with podcast on it. The name podcast, not the name podcast. Podcast title, whatever the fuck.
For podcasting, yeah. It's cheaper than therapy, maybe.
That's true. Well, we'll see.
I hope so.
We'll see. I don't know how often therapy makes you money. the best outlook.
I don't know how often this is going to make us money.
That's true. or even just like overall the amount of people. I don't care. Honestly,
neither do I.
I was vibing when we just had these microphones and we're sitting fucking around.
Well, I mean, because it just creates a whole different
fun.
vibe having the microphone and then like hearing our voices through the thing.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a narcissist.
No,
actually,
of course.
I told you about it. I had the coolest thing that ever happened to me.
Oh.
In my entire life.
In your whole life.
No, but like as a kid, because I wanted to be a YouTuber, of course, and I was.
Yeah, you were famous.
Yeah, 100 subscribers.
Oh man, I'm
One
jealous.
video made 14,000 views. Got 14,000 views. So.
Wait, no, really?
Yeah.
What video was it?
I made a tutorial on how to make homemade soundproofing.
Was the tutorial any good?
No, it was awful.
Like if you went back and watched it and tried to follow the instructions, do you think you'd have?
I mean,
any sort of
you
product
would
that you needed?
It was soundproofing. It was like using a spray foam on egg cartons.
Okay.
Which basically just made it like the spiky foam shit that you buy.
Oh, okay. That makes
but
sense.
for much cheaper, and I had actually like 700 egg cartons because my parents collected it for dogs or something. I think they used it in their dog kennels for that specifically, because then you can just tear it off the wall, throw it away, and then re-put it up. So because they had problems with their neighbors being like, why are there so many dogs in this dog shelter? They need to shut the hell up. And then sued them 3 times.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is an L for a non-profit dog rescue.
I don't know who sues a non-profit though. Like I get being
bitch
annoyed.
Asses.
I get being annoyed by dogs.
I don't know if it was sued 3 times, but they did. There was some legal action taken.
Oh my goodness.
Multiple times, and then they had to like move their whole thing and whatever.
The funny thing is that also almost happened to my family, because when we got our 2 new dogs with the chickens, they did make us get rid of the chickens. I was furious about that.
R.I.P. them.
Because we ate one of those chickens. Oh, it was made such a good soup out of that chicken. And the other 2, we were planning on getting them at some point, nabbing one of them. You're gonna get using a chicken as a whip to hit the other chicken.
Killing 2 birds with 1 bird. That's so much worse than I anticipated.
That's not actually what happened. I was like too young at this point to take part in the chicken slaughter. I mean, I wanted to, but I was a lot younger at this point. Mm-hmm. So like one of my uncles did it. I don't think he knew what he was doing. Because basically what they did, there was like a group of them. They chased down the chicken, like pinned it down, and then cut its head off with a hatchet.
That's what you do.
Yeah, but it looked comical seeing them trying to pin the chicken down. Like, that was the funny thing.
This man was an aspiring WWE wrestler. Yeah, he was, chicken was, not your uncle.
Well, no, my uncle couldn't be a WWE wrestler. I don't think he has it in him. I'm sorry.
He doesn't look like The Rock?
No. I actually
That'd be pretty
can't
epic.
think of
Your uncle is
many
The
men
Rock.
who look less like The Rock than the uncle I'm talking about. Like I
Somehow
really
the
like him. He's
furthest
a
thing
really
from
hard
Dwayne.
worker. He's a great guy, but he's like on the like thinner side and a little bit shorter, and he's got this just kind of
So
like
the
scrappy
chicken,
goatee.
that was his weight class.
Yeah,
opponent.
about very similar. So he did eventually pin it down and cut its head off, but it was just so funny, like watching him through the window.
Hilarious. Animal slaughter.
I
Love
mean,
it.
I'm gonna be real. Everybody, like a bunch of people go vegetarian are like, oh, I just saw like the process of slaughter and I just felt like I couldn't eat meat. I watched that chicken's head get cut off and I was like, dang, that's gonna be some good soup.
That's gonna make a slap.
And it was a slap. There was way too much of some sort of.
I think there's like a dissonant there. Like if you raised animals or had them, like if you only have ever had pets, it's different. Because we had a pig, Penelope. We named it and ate her. But we also had 13 chickens. We never ate any of the chickens. We just got eggs from them. Yeah.
You just ate their children.
But we did raise and slaughter the pig. And I don't know. I wasn't ever like, ooh, oh no. It also might just be person to person.
Yeah, I agree. I think we just might be like narcissists and psychopaths.
We might just be horrible. This is a great way to start off, huh?
Well, I mean, we are
Go
two
out,
dudes who
if
just
you
decided.
find a pig, just it's right there.
It's like, you know what I always thought was crazy? I watched
No.
a video about the meat industry, and it was talking about like how they like brain death cows with with the little cattle. Yeah, I just added the S with the little like gun thing. For some reason, I always just thought that was wild because it's just like I don't know how it actually works. I'm assuming it's some sort of like hydraulic thing where it's just a big cylinder of metal and it just wrecks their brain. And I always thought that was wild.
Yeah,
like
it is. It's they have like a whole pneumatic system that's hooked up, at least at the facility that I worked at. They had it, which I didn't do. I was a brisket puller.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, actually, just a much better job
than
all I had to do was this to It wasn't even a cow anymore. It was like half of
what
skin.
what did the other people do? Just do the.
Well, it depends. There was two halves of the facility. There's the fabrication side, which is all cold, and after the carcass has been, they put it in a freezer, and then they like salt the outside to like cure the immediate outside, and then make it cold, and then that does something for like longevity in shipping and whatever. But
I'm not sure it's helping the cow's longevity. But
no,
you know.
their longevity has already been cut short by a 1/4-inch bolt. But actually, it's probably like an inch or something. It's a thick motherfucker.
I mean, it's got a mushify cow brain. So
that's true. But so is the fabrication side, and then the kill side. If you work in the kill side, you stinky. Because there's like actual like blood.
Well, because you have to drain the blood. Because I watched the whole video and they're just like hanging there, like the freshly dead cows just hanging there from their bottom feet. Man, we're alienating such a large portion of a potential audience with this.
Well, I'm not like, damn, this is beautiful. I'm not. I just worked there because it was $19 an hour.
Yeah.
For 4 months.
But like I definitely know people who would like listen to someone talking about the process of how to slaughter a cow and would just go, oh, I cannot.
Good heavens.
I cannot do this.
Which, I mean, it isn't like epic.
No, I'm sure.
But also, I'm still gonna have a hamburger or two.
And you did get hamburgers for really cheap.
I still have steak from those cattle in our freezer.
Oh, that's true. We did just destroy like
them,
what,
though.
6 of
that
them,
was
4
so
of them.
Sad. Yeah,
like that. That's what, $50 of steak, maybe more.
They were nice
destroyed.
ones. Yeah, they came in a pack of 6. And
we ate 2 of them, so we destroyed 4.
But the last time that we did it, we had 6 beefy boys eating all the beef itself.
Yeah, of course.
So we just cooked all of it and ate all of it. I didn't have to like worry about taking care of it afterwards. So then we cooked 2 for just us. They slapped. They were a little bit overcooked, but
yeah,
it was our first try, and it still tasted good. And then we put the rest, and they turned to brown in like 2 days. It was like, oh no! We put them in the fridge. That was
a mistake. Yeah,
it was a mistake. Alas,
a waste.
We still have 12 more.
That's true.
That's quite a few.
Also,
for us.
I love how little preparation we had.
We really did just slather
we literally
it
just
in
took the
butter.
steak out of the freezer, have it in the fridge for a few days.
Did you start a timer?
No, I thought you had one like over here.
Oh, I do. We're good.
We're at 14:47.
Okay, cool.
It's just dark. I don't know why this turns off.
But so
Sorry.
I'm glad you did that.
Yep.
It's very helpful.
Say a joke.
Why did the I love the little sound
The
effects.
cutoff
They're
is
helpful.
so bad because it doesn't even let you loop. Well, you can loop it, but I'm talking about the whatever fucking little doohickey doodad PodTrack P4 Zoom PodTrack P4.
All right,
It's
why
all
don't
there.
you just keep leaning away from the mic right here? Just keep.
Yeah,
going
if
back
I just
there.
lean back.
All right, so this is just my podcast now.
Well, it's our podcast, but you're the only one being heard the whole time.
Well, I guess that's true. I mean, they'll still
Herd,
see you.
hey, callback, cattle,
Oh, okay.
cattle of
yeah,
herd,
Hey,
herd of cattle.
herds, cattles of. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a lot of because I was gonna try
What,
to.
you didn't prepare any material on cattle?
Wait,
the
we were
fuck?
supposed to.
Hang on a second.
Wait,
You didn't prepare anything for cattle?
I prepared everything on 9/11.
Damn.
Like
We already
every
got
joke.
all that in the pre-episode. Though.
That's actually true. We did talk about 9/11 for probably about like 10 minutes of that 25
true.
minutes.
All respectful things and Pete Davidson.
It's definitely it might be a good thing we lost that 10 minutes, but
It wasn't that. You're making
No,
it
no, it
sound
wasn't.
so much worse.
Well, that was kind of the point.
Yes, I know. But then that's my job as good podcast. I was gonna say good cop, but
I mean, I guess that works, but you're not a cop.
then one cop just
You're not
says
really
that he's
good
committed
either.
hate crimes, and then the other's like, that was a joke. And then the interrogation has gone nowhere, and they release a killer back onto the streets.
Or probably just a normal dude they picked
That's
up
true.
for a possession charge.
Yeah, we sound like terrible police officers already.
Well, it's because we're not police officers. Bringing the conversation
How
up.
interesting. What?
Sorry, you made a noise that was very reminiscent of a horse. So I was going to ask if we were transitioning to a different kind of farm animal now. We're starting with we started with chickens. Then we
My
went
dad
to cows.
showed sheep.
He what?
He showed sheep.
Showed sheep. What?
Showed sheep.
What is that?
You know, like show horses? Mm-hmm. Sheep.
I'm going to be real. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
What do you mean?
A horse is such a like muscular and majestic animal.
You know they
And a
show
sheep is
cattle
just-
too, right?
Yeah, that's also just
And pigs.
I knew about the pigs because it's just like, dang, how
chickens.
fat can we get this
I
pig?
assume. I've never. That'd be really funny.
If
I
it was
showed chickens. I went to Vegas for
This
the
is the-
World Chicken Showing Championship.
I brought my chicken with me, big chicken.
I had to get a chicken trailer.
It's just like a horse trailer, but it's like super tiny.
My grandma had like actually a giga horse trailer. It was like an RV and a horse trailer. So it had like living quarters up front and then horse living quarters in the back.
Your grandma
Ballin'
also had a desperate need for mental health help from something.
from something.
See, I don't actually know.
That's
I
what
never,
horses are
I
for.
never met your grandma. I just know when we went to collect some of her possessions to use
Yes.
for the apartment, I went in there and I saw just an unholy amount of horse memorabilia.
That's true.
Like, I'm sure
I
if
mean,
I
that's what she
consulted
did.
the King James I got in the other room, there's going to be something against having that much horse memorabilia. There's got to be.
It's the
'Cause
11th
it was,
commandment. You shouldn't have too much horse memorabilia.
Thou shalt not horse.
No, I mean that's what she did for decades.
I mean, that's true. She's probably good at it.
I think she won multiple like I don't know if it was like world or national championships. But she like flew to Vegas annually to do giga horse shows. Which is pretty epic.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super tuned into the horse show game, so I wouldn't know.
Figures.
Yes,
This is the last episode of the podcast.
City slicker like you,
City slicker.
little.
Damn. You lived in the as little of a city as possible in Zilla, but still are a yuppie. Impressively so.
I mean, no, the fun fact is I was born on the west side, and I have to tell people that. And then everything...
Damn, I just fucked that up.
And then something like comes together for them. Because I've got like enough...
Something clicked.
Well, because I've got enough like generic
That's why you're
country
so moist
experience
all the time.
to pass off as a countryman when I like need to, because it's a good vibe and it's good to know stuff like that.
It is a good vibe.
But I was born on the west side, and I think there's just something city slicker about my blood because
My veins.
because I remember like I had a conversation with Tyler.
Dirty street in my veins. Yeah.
No, I had a conversation with Tyler, and he's lived in the little itty bitty teeny tiny Zilla.
Illy billy chilly willy slippy slappy zilly willy zill billy.
We're gonna descend.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah,
Welcome to the descent.
that could have been a good podcast name.
That could have been, but just descent into we're stupid. We're just dumb.
But all I was saying is that Tyler basically grew up in the mud and the dirt under his fingernails and came up
In the
crawling
bare
out of the
copper
mud
wire.
like the orcs from Lord of the Rings. Just
His mother didn't birth him; she merely burst the fucking
the
yolk sack
capsule.
around him.
No, he grew up in this like little. I guess I'd call it like a prairie area outside of the actual city. It was more like a weird like swamp. Like I don't know.
Did he
how
have
to
a
fully describe
sod grass hut that he lived in?
It was a trailer, so pretty close.
Oh, okay.
But
Modern day equivalent.
this is a trailer. Anyway, he used to tell me all these stories about it, and then we were just having a conversation. And then I told him he was born on the west side, and he said, "Oh, that makes sense." So that's where I get the impression that
For
I have.
the record, I would not have been able to tell you that you lived on the west side.
Okay, cool. Well, also,
But
Tyler,
I just didn't know that. until
Tyler
just
has
now.
some sort of like a weird intuition in that sense, I guess.
Sixth Hicks sense.
The Hicks sense.
He can just even you're wearing like Carhartt overalls, boots, with the right way of tucking your pants in, or not. Your cowboy hat, and from 30 miles away, he's like, "Yuppie, West Sider."
It's just like weird little things that you pick up on living out in the country.
Yeah,
like
you've got street smarts.
of all of the many skills that I have, I wouldn't
Just
call street smarts
innumerable.
one of them.
Political science.
No.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh no.
Oh no.
My list of
You're good at
skills goes
drinking drinks really fast.
That's true. Despite the
He
fact
would,
that
he
you
would make
finished the
fun of
street
me
first.
for enjoying my milkshake.
because we worked a summer job together, and there was this really great milkshake place near that, and we always would go
30%
together.
of my paycheck every summer. At like actually.
We got paid almost nothing though. We got
That's
paid
true.
just dirt.
But the still the statistic of 30% of my income for 1 year going to milkshake.
Is true. That's technically.
It's beautiful.
But no, we would get the milkshake, and then we'd sit in the car, and he would, over the course of the next like 2 days, just
Like an hour.
like take just the tiniest. How did you even taste the milkshake
his
in your
sense
mouth?
of time is warped because he goes into a fugue state where he just,
It takes all of the like oxygen going into the suck muscles.
you have to like go and diaphragmatically breathe in your whole milkshake. You do it in 1 second. I take like a normal human amount of time.
No,
and you're
no,
like,
no.
what the hell? Why is it taking you a decade and a half to drink?
I
Like, dog,
would not call that a normal human amount of time.
I may be a little bit over, but
At least like 50% over.
50% over.
Well, most people take like actual mouthfuls of drink. You just go, and you get like a little bit. You swirl it around.
Well, no, I did take mouthful, but I would set it down. That's what it was. Because then I'd be like milkshake, and then I'd pick it up and I'd enjoy it all because I have goldfish brain, or what did you call it? Chicken brain.
It's chicken brain because you just blink, and the entire world becomes new to you. Like, because chickens are just like we make fun of cows for being dumb, but chickens just got absolutely nothing. Like, not even instincts.
Like, where's calcium? Oh, on my fellow chicken's body. They did that. That was a problem with our chickens. I don't know if it happened to yours. They would peck each other raw. And they would just, like, have their entire backs didn't have feathers on them because they're all so stupid. They're like...
Domestic abuse in the chicken kingdom.
Yeah, but it was all of them. It was mutual. So we ended up... The idea is that you crush up their eggshells and then leave them there so that they get their calcium from the eggshells instead of their fellow chicken. And then but that didn't work enough because it takes so long for their feathers to regrow that we had to
Why didn't you just give your chickens milk?
Damn. I don't know if that would have worked. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. But we also had to put purple goo. We had to put purple goo on their backs, so that tastes bad because they're too stupid to realize. Damn, maybe I shouldn't be cannibalizing and eating my fellow chicken.
I mean,
I just have to say, Chicken Run, not real life. It doesn't quite translate.
The movie Chicken Run.
Yes. What else would I be talking about? The communist propaganda.
I'm going to be honest. I know the movie Chicken Run exists. I couldn't tell you anything about it. Not a single detail.
They almost get baked into pies at one point.
Really?
They gave me nightmares. I don't remember anything else about it.
I think they probably... You know what movie... I never watched the movie, but the trailer always gave me nightmares. Flushed Away. With
that movie, I watched that,
hell out
and
of me.
One of my first memories is a nightmare, which is kind of unfortunate.
Away.
Well, it was like, okay, so here's what it was. It was rats on roller coasters, which kind of happens in the movie.
Me more.
But so what it was a death game. There were 2 roller coasters filled with rats, and I was on one of them and the other one. And they essentially just fill them with rats, and they go into a pit. And the pit is just undefined death, apparently. Or that's what it was in my 5-year-old brain. And then so then it goes in, and I'm sitting in my roller coaster and I'm hanging on for dear life, and I'm like, dear God, dear rat God, have graced me with the ability to survive. And I think it's whichever roller coaster has the most amount of rats alive wins. I look over at the other one.
So were you one of the rats?
Yeah, I was one of the rats.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Probably an Italian-looking one with a... just based off the... Or it was Biggie Cheese, maybe. I don't remember exactly.
No, Biggie Cheese was a raccoon. What? Wait, no, sorry.
No, that's
that's Biggie Trash.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got the wrong one. I forgot about Biggie Cheese.
Fake fan.
A fake fan. I actually will not claim to be a fan of whatever piece of media Biggie Cheese. Is that the one with the cow? That's a man, but he still has an udder. What's Biggie Cheese in?
Biggie Cheese is in Flushed Away.
Is he? I never watched Flushed Away.
Yeah, he's in Flushed Away.
Is that where that's
You're
from?
Thinking of Back to the Barnyard.
Yeah, which is another
which
thing.
Also gave me nightmares.
That's
the coyotes. The coyotes scared the shit out of me.
Just the normal animal animations bothered me.
Wait. So the nightmare. I'm holding on for dear life, praying to rat god, and I look over, and one of the other rats, because they're adjacent roller coasters going into the death pit.
Yeah.
He looks over at me, and then presses a button on their dashboard of the roller coaster, and then a shield goes, and then we both plunge into the pit, and I died. The fucking actual rats, but metaphorical rats, cheated in the death game and added a shield to their
rats.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a really long time ago.
I don't have any defined nightmares of Flushed Away. I just remember watching the trailer and going,
that
sounds
horror.
Awful. Like, that looks terrible. Because I used to get, like, what if I got flushed down a toilet?
Damn, what if I became a rat and got flushed down the toilet?
That'd be scary.
Wait, is he a dude that turns into a rat?
No, I think it's just a rat, right?
I thought so,
I don't
too.
know anything about Flushed Away.
Fake fan. I didn't know either. It's been over a
There's so many things that I know almost something
about,
enough to like comment on it, and then somebody will say like something else like anything else about it, and I won't know anything else about it, and I'll just be like, oh,
yeah, flushed away. Rat.
Yep.
Rolling, speeding. Okay. Whatever the fuck these things.
I do want to go into a lot more detail about Biggie Trash,
but we'll have
to.
But
wait a second. Do you hear something?
No, but I feel it. I don't.
Is there something under the?
Maybe.
I think there's something under the table.
It's just comedy incarnate.
It's just pissy.
Oh yeah. That's an awful lot of water there.
Hey, you know, a man's got a drink.
Yeah, literally, you do.
Man, I gotta piss.
Then do it.
Don't do the thing.
What's the thing?
Don't.
I don't even. Don't what?
Piss, man.
Stop.
Piss, boy.
Stop my flattery.
Piss, bloat. Piss. Piss, baby.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, so funny. Yeah, that's so funny. Great.
Damn. Now I gotta piss.
Be my guest.
Piss lift operator. Man of acquired piss. Piss paragon. Piss entity. Piss Prometheus.
You're right. That is funny.
Yeah, it's funny. Oh, it's
Yeah.
funny now that you did it.
Yeah. Piss entity. That's much funnier than Piss Man. You gotta admit that.
It's not that much.
It was pretty
It's
creative.
like
I got a lot going
a
on up
1
here,
degree.
man. You want to see it?
Fuck you. Get in the car.
Fine.
Piss entity.
Okay, that was.
That was.
We
don't actually know if it's good yet.
I have no further comments on pissy.
Yes, I withhold media
Of
comment.
any further statement.
Yep, no further statements.
I don't know how actually far
The
forward I have to
STABcast.
lean in, but every time I
Probably-
talk, I just do this.
Probably so that you throw it on the microphone.
Fantastic idea.
That sounds so weird.
Yeah, it sounded weird when you do it too.
Fuck you. Explain Biggie Trash.
Okay. So Biggie Trash.
Okay.
Biggie Trash is actually the largest raccoon in existence, described to be approximately 6'4" in height and about 340 pounds. He's a raccoon who walks on two legs
He's bigger than
with a
Levon.
big bushy tail, and apparently his skin is impenetrable. It's impervious to bullets.
Skin or fur?
Well, I don't think his fur is impervious to the bullets. I think it's the skin, right? Because it generally, why would the fur just be? Because then the skin would break under the bending fur being pressed by the bullet. So it has to be the skin.
Okay.
All I know is Levi tried to shoot him, and it did not work.
Allegedly.
Well,
In a dream. Actually in a dream. You
Actually
I don't
in a
know
dream.
if you mentioned that.
I was actually going to not mention it on
Oh, damn.
purpose, but that's fine.
It wasn't a dream.
It was in real life. So either way, in this dream, Biggie Trash was the leader of a gang of just normal raccoons, but he could talk and could walk on two legs.
Naturally.
And he was this massive, morbidly obese raccoon. And he tried to eat all of the food in Levi's house and like enslave his family or something crazy. And Levi tried to fight back like the Chad he is, pulled out a gun, shoots him, it doesn't work. I don't remember the full rest of the dream, but I do remember that Levi actually bests Biggie Trash, which is super impressive.
He had a full story arc in this shit.
He did. And the end of that story arc is Levi blowing up his own house with all the raccoons in it, because while impervious to bullets, Biggie Trash was not impervious to fire and a shockwave.
Of course.
And so he blew up his entire house to kill
just the
raccoon.
solution.
I'm not sure if his family made it out, but I know Levi did.
That may have been just collateral damage.
I mean, hey, to get rid of a blight,
what is necessary?
a blight on the world like Biggie Trash,
War
Mega
is
Alpha
hell.
Raccoon, which is exactly how Levi described him to me the first time.
What was it? Big
Levi said it exactly like this: a Biggie Trash, Mega Alpha Raccoon, like that.
Yeah.
It was so good. I wonder. So the reason I described Biggie Trash's proportions and exact height and weight, Levi didn't. But Levi did say he had the exact body proportions of a friend of ours, who those are his body proportions. And so I changed his name to that in my phone. I wonder if he still is or if I've changed it.
Or are we just going to refer to him as that when he gets on the podcast?
I think that would be good.
Okay.
Biggie Trash. The funny thing is, I've never told him about that.
Ayo, Biggie Trash. Hit up the business email.
I've never told him about that. And I don't think you have either.
A tell-all? Are we going to spill the beans?
What beans? I don't have any beans.
The Biggie Trash beans.
Oh, who's Biggie Trash? Oh, well, you just spoiled it.
I'm going to bleep that. I don't have a bleep, but...
No, I don't think it's necessary. I think you can just watch this and discover that he...
Or I can just bleep it each time, and then you have to keep it.
That would be funny.
Guessing.
I think that would be funnier. Our friend, who will remain unnamed from your perspective... Mm-hmm. I'm super excited.
Our friend. Beep. Whatever the fuck I put over it.
I'm super excited to have him on the podcast now just because of that.
Yeah.
Because I'm really excited to explain to him in excruciating detail the detail. Because I'm gonna call Levi.
You have to come up with a story arc just to like retroactively retcon a whole story into Levi's.
I think that'd be good.
And like his persona is Biggie Trash, and it like that it's like a I don't know what the word, like a psychoanalytical version of how Levi sees his
Jungian
life. Somehow
style.
just a battle against this person.
Oh, like Levi's personification.
But he's a rat or a raccoon. Sorry,
yeah, a raccoon. It's like
new animal just dropped.
No, it's like all the creatures in
Set
Avatar
is?
where they are like.
Oh yeah,
the Egyptian god Set. No, I should have looked this up because we were talking about this yesterday. But I swear he's not just like an anteater. He looks like it, but I swear he's like a made-up animal.
I swear to God.
I have my phone. I'm gonna look this up.
If any of you know Set personally,
I
know Bast is a cat.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Ra is an eagle, right? He is an eagle head.
Horus. Horus is the one that loses his eye.
I think it's Ra. Ra's the sun god.
Ra's the sun. I don't think Ra's an eagle. Stop that.
Or a hawk.
I don't want to hear
something like that, I think. I don't know. It's not that important. We should have brought out your ancient Egypt one instead of medieval times. This isn't right. We have to talk about the Crusades or something. I'm going to fill for time.
I'm really attempting to find what his head is.
There is a YouTube channel. I can't remember what the name of it is. But it's a bunch of Russian guys that are trying to get to Reactor 4 at Chernobyl, which is the one that melted down and has the actual just giga lump of, I'm assuming, uranium just sitting there underneath the like sarcophagus. But I told Tim about it yesterday, and he's like, save it for the podcast. And because I said we have a better chance of making it to Reactor 4 than they do. Because the problem is all of the underground levels.
It's called a set animal. That's what it was called.
Damn, they really had to think hard about that.
Well, they also like crossed it with some Greek thing
animal?
that's called a typhonic beast. Because it's just like, scholars agree.
Typhoid?
Typhon. Yeah, typhoid. But I wish I had typhoid.
Damn.
But
you want to get typhoid? I don't know how you get.
Two bros getting typhoid.
Is that our next under the table segment? The lads get
You're gonna regret
typhoid.
saying that when we both get typhoid. And
How
we
the fuck do you get typhoid? Never mind. Finish what you were saying.
No, so the
Typhonic
set animal
Yeah.
is just like an
is the
animal that
animal
they
that Set
made
is.
up. Yeah, because it's basically entirely made up just to be like something he transforms into and his head.
Yeah.
And like a
Damn.
bunch of scholars widely agree
Crazy.
that it's not based on any real animal and it is just the set animal, which I think is hilarious.
It's just him.
It's just he's
They're like,
just
what do you mean animal?
balling.
It's Set. What do you mean?
Yeah, so-
Balling out of his goddamn gourd. But the Russians, the problem with
Speaking of unidentifiable animals,
yes,
Russians.
they will be here very soon. The underground levels are flooded. Like the bottom three
really?
levels or something are fully submerged in water.
Dude, do you
and-
want to have a drink of that?
Well, they did worse. They submerged one of their entire guys in the water. But so that they went and they were like, we gotta find a way under, and they're like in the building next to reactor 4. They walk down a flight of stairs and they're like, damn, there's a bunch of water here. Thank God we brought our scuba gear. Their scuba gear was saran wrap. They saran wrapped this whole guy in as a wetsuit, and then they had a fishbowl, which is a type of diving helmet that normally comes with the rest of a diving suit, but they just had the fishbowl, and they had a guy with a bike pump pumping air to this guy, and then he had to hold his helmet on, and they taped weights, like 5-pound and 10-pound weights to him because he wouldn't sink at all. And then he's just going into the water of like reactor 3 or some shit, and he gets like actually 5 steps down this like stairway that's fully submerged to water. And then he comes back up because the thing filled with water because it's a fucking fishbowl, and he didn't like keep it square perfectly, like trapping the air. He like moved a little bit and it went and so they just had to drag him back out. And then he tried again, and like the water isn't only very radioactive. It is also, because it's not even like a fringe area, it's right next to where all of the fallout came from. And so, but the water is not just radioactive, it's also like maybe a 4-foot visibility. So you can see this far ahead of you and nothing else.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
But they're like, damn, that didn't work. And they left, and then the police arrested them at the place that they were staying. But they didn't get in actual trouble because they weren't stealing shit, apparently. And so then they went back with inflatable rafts, and they're like hunching over through these corridors because the corridors are half filled with water. So they have like 4 feet, and they're on inflatable rafts, and they're like, damn, I hope these don't pop. And all 3 of them popped. And so they're just like on deflating fucking rafts, trying to pump them up and like patch them with duct tape. There was 3 rafts, but with like 6 people. So there was 2 people in each of the rafts. And they're like, damn, I hope that none of this exposed metal and like girders and shit and sharp objects pop our inflatable rafts. So essentially, if we go to Chernobyl,
Oh yeah,
we could do it
I think
at least better than they
here,
could.
Here
is the
I
plan.
have
Another under the table segment.
I have additions to 2 of their plans that I think would work.
Okay.
I don't know why they used the fishbowl when they had saran wrap, because they saran wrap the body. But I feel like
Just-
if the kids try this at home. If you are needing, actually, I don't want that on my conscience. Please, God, don't try this at home. But you know what we're gonna
I'm
try?
gonna bleep that.
So we're gonna wrap our full, just dead kids on my conscience. I'm gonna wrap my full body in saran wrap.
want
but
this
like,
on my
not
conscience.
with my arms out, just to my side, going back to Egypt like a mummy, and I'm just gonna plummet forward into the water.
The torpedo strategy.
But it's also going to
and
be around my
hopefully that
head,
you find
so
an air
so it's
pocket.
going to keep the air that I was breathing around my body in with the saran wrap, because it's going to be fully sealed. And
I
I'm
mean
gonna
the
be able
air
to
that was
breathe.
in your lungs and mouth.
I'm gonna
So-
leave. I'm gonna leave a little bubble, bubble of saran wrap that's there,
So then you can and suck it down your
so I
throat.
can suck the air in and then breathe it back out, and then suck it back in and breathe it back out, and that will be my scuba suit.
Okay.
But if that doesn't work, which I could not tell you why that wouldn't work, I'm a science
Yeah,
major.
as long as it's with you. I am as well. Well, applied associates
So
in science with film focus.
the next
What's
idea.
the other one? Metal boats?
Yeah.
Maybe thinner plastic inflatable boats.
Why did they use rafts when they had saran wrap? I am going to construct an inflatable wrap out of saran wrap. Use the bike pump they mentioned to fill it with air. But here's the thing. Those inflatable rafts, they don't have any more inflatable raft material. They would have had more saran wrap. If our saran wrap boat pops, we can cover it with more saran wrap.
Mm-hmm. And you can also see to the bottom.
So you can see all the things that are going to destroy your boat. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm a genius.
And also the elephant's foot. I don't know if that was Chernobyl, actually. But
I don't know.
There's been a couple of them bad boys.
A couple of them.
That's kind of
them
crazy
bad
and
feeties.
wacky, right? Nuclear,
A little quirky. Maybe.
quirky, of nuclear power plants to melt down.
A little quirky of
Lamau?
Cold War era
LMA0.
superpowers and their great decision making.
Oh,
No, I was reading this the other day. I'm about to call out an actual scholar. So I don't remember his name.
Joseph Stalin,
No.
if you're watching. Bad moves.
No, not that. So there is this guy I was reading the other day. He wrote this whole piece called "The Ride of the Second Horseman," which is all about war. And I think his last chapter is called "Fall of the Horseman," where his basically whole argument is that war is a thing that's going away in modern times due to like technology and culture, and that like war deaths are going down, and that it's likely that
Smell cap.
that the end of
war. Don't worry.
is coming close. Because, and he uses the Cold War as his example. I think
how well that went.
I think there's a flaw in his logic, though, because he's like, historically, it is a miracle that the Cold War ended without real bloodshed. And our professor was talking about it, the professor I was with, and she was just like, this is the example he uses and all that. And I said, Doctor, I have a thought about this. I think I know why the Cold War didn't end in actual violence. No one is stupid enough to launch a nuclear bomb. Like, the whole concept of mutually assured
At
destruction.
somebody that has a nuclear bomb.
Well, yeah, we can launch it at people who don't have nuclear bombs. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I
They
was
just can't fight
I was
back.
sitting there and I felt just kind of strange because I was like, I feel like this is the obvious reason that the Cold War didn't end in bloodshed.
Yeah. Because
Appar-
we have the
apparently-
safeguard of everybody dies if,
Yeah,
if anybody dies.
I mean, I understand his point. Like historically, most like tension building ends in war. But again,
I think the problem is when you get to something that doesn't care about that, or has like contingency plans to try and
Yeah.
survive after that. Like if some power like is like, okay, we're gonna cause the nuclear apocalypse and then just build up from that.
That's crazy.
Fully taking over the
honestly,
planet. That's my plan.
if you
Don't steal that. Don't steal that. That's mine.
Xi Jinping, you better not. If you're watching this,
Motherfucker.
President of China, we're coming for your Winnie the Pooh looking ass.
Damn.
I actually
We're even less getting monetized.
We'll see. I'm really. I don't think I'm going to survive for much longer. I did just
that's
call out one of the most powerful men on earth on YouTube.
I don't think
I'm calling truth to power right now.
Yep. So if he disappears, it's Xi Jinping and not me. I
Yeah.
didn't kill him.
Yeah.
Yep. What were you saying before that? No, not that. Before that. Before you comically took big sip from big cup.
I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I got a bad case of the chicken brain. So I've
Damn.
got absolutely no idea. I was talking about China, about Xi Jinping not stealing your idea
Right.
to
Love you. I don't know how to say anything in Mandarin. I'm the China shill for the two of us.
Okay,
We got
okay.
good cop, China.
China cop.
So
so you're basically-
CCP sympathizer.
I mean, hey, you've got powerful company with you. You've got the NBA, you've got Disney, all them China pandering companies.
Anybody that makes money.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Ballin'.
But we don't make money, so we can say whatever
That's
we want.
true. We're poor. We're the revolutionaries. Actually, pretty much. The exact demographic. Essentially.
Young men with nothing to lose. Yeah, that's true. That is the trend in most countries that have civil war. There's just a big pile of young men who are not invested in the system, who've got nothing to do. And then one dude's like, hey,
Like, how about we
y'all,
kill each other?
y'all want some guns? And then they all go, hell yeah, we want some guns. And then that's how you
You
get...
want to fight the Northerners?
That's how you get most spicy world news.
The most entertaining shit. Just open warfare. Which is ballin', I must say.
War, it's...
Not actually.
I mean, it's weird because
I've
war...
experienced warfare whenever we have Nerf wars at my house. And I have
We're
to
here.
pick up
We
the Nerf
have done
bullets.
Nerf
That's
wars
true.
here.
This is more of a World War I setup because
that's
we just
true.
had a chair halfway through our
trenches.
apartment and then 2 people on one side.
Yeah, I got
and then
trench foot
2
in my
people on
room.
the other side. That's
got a
true.
real bad case of... But that's just because I
Yeah.
didn't shower for a week.
That's true. And also stood in trench with only your feet. What? You didn't shower? That's not how trench foot happens.
No, I know, but
It's
I had
if you showered for
too long. Okay.
2 years.
Okay, I
just
retcon
your
my
feet.
previous statement.
Okay.
I showered my feet for 2 years in this apartment that we've lived into for not
Hell
even
yeah.
half a year.
Checks out. Checks out. Solid.
out?
Solid.
Yeah,
Yep.
good.
Uh-huh.
I have to.
You're gonna take another
love
comical
that I
sip.
forget the things that I'm gonna say. This happens all the time. I'm just like in the middle of making like an actually ingenious point using my massive brain.
Just like world-changing shit. Honestly.
I mean, really, I get the feeling that I would be a world leader at this age were it not for my comically bad memory.
You would have already legislated to be able to become president, and then created the giga
I
presidency.
can legislate to become president. I want to pass this
be
bill,
pretty
which
cool.
is Grimbothy is president.
Grongo.
I'd also like to say on
President?
this audio file, we didn't announce our names.
Oh yeah, this is Gringo. Am I allowed to? I mean,
Yeah, it's making fun of white. If you use
That's true.
like a term for a non-white race, I think that would be where the problem happens. I'm not going to give any examples, obviously. No gamer words on the podcast.
no gamer words. The one rule. Also, I'm sure there's other rules.
Well,
No bare back button balls.
we're gonna have
chagrin.
to. We're gonna have to tell Josh that. But
Oh, what? Oh, yeah. We should probably let him know ahead by
Yeah.
a couple of months so that he can prepare to not be just exposing himself.
I'm
on the
wondering if I
podcast.
could convince him
Which
to
was
wear...
actually, like, I just made that joke, but as a bit, he does expose himself quite often.
Yeah, I'm actually going to describe the bit, so very sorry, everybody who's
Dear
listening. More specifically,
Mom, Dad, you were right to ban me from hanging out with him. He's a degenerate man.
So he used to do this
Hopefully
bit
they aren't listening.
where he
We'll see.
would lean down and act like he was picking something up, and he would say the words, "Whoops, I dropped some gum." And as his gum, he would open
prop that he used.
he would unzip his pants a little bit, take the little slot that exists in men's underwear. I don't know if it exists in women's underwear. I'd
Access
assume
hatch.
not.
I don't imagine.
And he would
For their
take out
penises.
a shaven piece of his ball
Specifically
sack,
shaven?
and he would.
For the bit.
I mean, it looked like it didn't have hair. I got an unfortunately large glimpse of it because I wasn't expecting the bit. And so he bends over, he says, "Whoops, I dropped some gum," and he pops back up with actually just a piece of his like testicles hanging out of his pants.
He got you
And-
fully with that one.
Like,
the
I don't-
classic blunder. I've never heard anybody do this before.
I was gonna say I don't know if I've ever been more disturbed by something. Context: this is making Josh look really bad. He's actually one of the funniest people we know.
That's true.
However, he also
He does this.
he also has zero shame,
That's
which is part of what makes him
that
so
adds
funny.
to it.
But also, I don't
It's a
think
full moon tonight. I wasn't there for that one either.
I that was on the same day.
Yeah.
He did both of
He's
them
just
to
pulling
me
all of
on the
his
same
balls
day.
and ass out.
I mean,
Impressively.
yeah, I don't know how he'll handle it on the podcast.
Or his stand-up comedy. He's just gonna.
Okay.
I dropped gum.
Okay, listen, Josh. First rule: no dropping gum on the stage. I know what your gum. It's not funny.
He's like, okay. What's that on the floor? Like,
I see. What's that under your
that
shoe?
seems to be chewing bubblegum or something down here. What's that on your shoe?
Yeah,
and then
people step in
he
gum.
lifts up his shoe and it's his ball. It's Josh's balls. Whoa!
Those guys,
This is the stage manager that
he's the greatest magician in history. He can actually surgically remove his balls.
That's not a magician. That's a surgeon.
No, but he's got to misdirect as he does the
That's true.
surgery. You know how
He's
impressive
also a
it would be.
world-class ballologist. Hey,
Hey, going back to episode 1, baby.
we've done that too many times already.
No, we haven't.
Episode 1 or episode 1.5. We've done a couple tests.
I don't know. All I know is episode 1 was a ballin' episode.
And when you said, I totally thought that you were just recording and we were doing the first episode, I accidentally did record 10 minutes of it on the microphone.
Really?
Or on the camera.
Oh, on the camera. Yeah. Well, I mean, but not the audio.
That's true. You can hear from the camera. The camera has audio too.
I guess so.
It just sounds like this. Insert audio from the camera.
Oh, that's what you were
In
doing.
post.
I thought you were just leaning away from the mic to make shittier sound.
It sounds like
No, that didn't even sound that bad. These microphones are just
you got
too
this.
good.
This little thing right here.
Normally they're called dead cats. I don't know if these specifically are
Dead cats, like
deceased
felines.
felines. Yeah.
one mind. one
Although
and the
they're
same.
normally fuzzier. Or like more like fur.
I
have a dead cat.
Oh, okay. So he's going to retrieve a dead cat at the moment, which means this is just my podcast, and I can say whatever I want about this little guy. I just hate him. So, hey, Cameron, how you doing?
I can't hear you. I don't have the headphones on yet.
I know that.
You can keep talking trash.
Yeah, cool. He's actually just the worst roommate.
Just kidding. I can hear you.
Oh no!
This is the
Drama.
dead cat. This is much more dead cat-like, though. I assume. I've never killed cats. Although that is a popular, apparently, hick thing to do.
Really?
Which
actually, we have
or at
a,
least maybe the like 2 generations before.
we have a friend whose
Just
dad does do that
just
because cats wander onto their property. Well, sometimes
castle doctrine, motherfucker.
I don't know if he actually does this to the cats, but he does. I think he has done this to like skunks
Humans.
and other things that wander onto his property, where he'll put this little creature in a bag,
Oh, and
and
throw-
take him out to the canal and just to drown in a burlap sack.
What the fuck is wrong?
I wouldn't
with
want
you?
to waste bullets. Well, I mean, if it's like a skunk.
What's wrong with you? What do you mean if it's
What do
a
you mean?
skunk?
Well, because we've humanized cats enough to the point where you'd feel bad to do that.
I've humanized skunks too, motherfucker.
I'm gonna be honest. I personally have not even humanized cats, but
Well, they aren't humans, so
yeah. Well, I don't know.
Cats. Have you catitized
Because
humans?
Because dogs are actually like bred over so long to
They're
actually.
actually bred. Just take a bite. They're loaves. They're made out of grain.
We do Gotta just take my dog out of the oven for a quick minute.
My dog isn't finished rising from the yeast yet. Bread. Sorry, bread to be companions? of
Bred to be
humans?
like actual companions of humanity. Cats are just the worst.
It's just fucking awful.
It's just like owning a wild animal that is like, you feed me? I guess I can stick around. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are some cats that are nice, but I don't count those. Those are just dogs.
Fuck them. The nice cats are just dogs. And there's
I
no
don't-
nice cats.
I don't actually know what the distinction is that makes a cat just the worst and deserving of a good
They
canaling.
really aren't. A good canal. Oh my. It's
No.
crazy they did that to people too.
Yeah, crazy. I would never do that to people. When's this episode over?
2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was a good note to end on.
Then I can get back to canaling you.
We're gonna end the first episode on a threat of bodily harm.
I believe I did just threaten to kill anybody who watched this video.
That's pretty cool.
Good luck, because I am looking for you, and I will stab you.
Whatever you do, don't turn around. Are we gonna scream to end it? Oh damn! I turned my microphone way down.
So,